It's no secret that 2023 has been an up and down year for Chelsea Football Club, so I thought that I'd take a trip down memory lane and highlight some good moments and some bad moments from this year. Lads, lasses and the rest of the masses, welcome back to the channel. I'm Mono from MonoCFC, and these are 5 things that happened in Chelsea's 2023. Number 1. Azpilicueta's departure. One of the biggest things that happened this year for me was the major clear out that the new ownership enacted at the start of this season. We saw a whopping 15 players leave in the summer and January windows combined, including the likes of longtime servants Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Callum Hudson-Odoi, Mason Mount, and even club legends like N'Golo Kanté. But none of these names even come close to what we lost when Cesar Azpilicueta and Chelsea made the mutual decision to part ways. The man we just called Dave would leave the club after over a decade of service, with the majority of that time acting as our club captain and leading the team to a multitude of major honours, including the Premier League, Europa League, Club World Cup, and even the Champions League, to name a few. This was an emotional time for all of us. As I said when it happened, some of us have grown into adults alongside Azpi, and it shell-shocked us when it was officially announced, even though we knew it was inevitable and was the right time for him to go. This signalled a new era in the Chelsea timeline. Dave was the embodiment of everything that the Roman Empire stood for, and losing him felt like not just the end of a chapter, but the closing of the entire book. Number 2. A new era. With this closing of the book, our author Todd Burley and co. decided to start writing the sequel, and that book would be one with lots of twists and turns, ups and downs. One of the ups from our story so far will have to be that set of transfer windows. I spoke about the clear out, but the sheer size of the incomings is enough to make this list, the notorious £1 billion spent that people love to throw around. We saw the likes of Enzo Fernandez, Moises Caicedo, Mykhailo Mudryk, Cole Palmer, Nicholas Jackson, Malo Gusto, Christopher Nkunku and Romeo Lavia, and more, all join the club, and this was a spending spree that football had never seen before. And whilst there can be doubts surrounding the recruitment in some areas, I think for the most part we have bought smartly, not only investing for now but for the future, bringing in some top quality players that are only going to get better with time. Who can forget that Fabrizio Romano stream when he confirmed Enzo to Chelsea, or the tweet when he revealed Caicedo had rejected Liverpool for us, the absolute steal that was Cole Palmer leaving City for us, or us nabbing Mudryk from Arsenal. There were huge moments in these transfer windows that were seismic in terms of not only price, but ambition and of course, contracts. Ah yes, how could I forget to mention the masterclass that Todd Burley and Clearlake put into action, taking full advantage of amortization rules, and tying talents down to major contracts, birthing the meme of "save it for my next loophole." A move so clever that the league had to change the rules, Chelsea once again being at the forefront of history. I've made it clear that I'm not the biggest fan of Mauricio Pochettino at the moment, but the one thing I love about him as manager is that he has made this group of kids into a really likeable, passionate team that, despite not bringing us the best results, always seem like they care, and are always proud to play for this club with our badge on their chests. And even though I still have doubts over whether Poch is the right man or not, I really hope that fortunes do turn around for him and the team in 2024, because I just really like almost every player in the squad, which isn't something I was able to say under the previous regime. Number 3. Finishing 12th. Now, not everything in this list is going to be positive. It's been a rocky road for us after all. After sacking Thomas Tuchel in 2022 and bringing in what looked to be a great manager in Graham Potter afterwards, our form seriously dipped in 2022, leading into this year. By the end of the season, at the start of 2023, Chelsea finished 12th in the league, one of the worst finishes for this club in history. And I think I'd be hiding a major part of this year if I didn't mention how poor we were, and in some aspects continue to be today. It's been a defining part of this new era of Chelsea. We're having to adjust to not being that giant in the league anymore. It's weird and uncomfortable and just feels wrong. We got played off the park numerous times from January up until the end of the season, getting beaten by City, Fulham, Southampton for Pete's sake, Spurs, Villa, Wolves, Brighton, Brentford, Arsenal. It seemed like every team we came up against could easily beat us. We didn't score more than 1 goal in the game for 13 straight games before the Dortmund match, which I'll talk about later. Even the games we drew, we looked second best, and it was just aggravating. The funny thing is, that terrible season is what led me to start posting on this channel again, just because I thought like I needed to vent about it. That's how bad it was. Let's hope it improves in the future and we can move past this dark time in our history, because my word was that part of this year dire. Real quick, if you're enjoying the content and want to see more, please consider subscribing to the channel. Cheers. And before we move on to number 4, it's time for the question of the day. As always, I'm going to highlight some of the comments from the last video, so here are a few responses to the last question of the day. Thanks guys for your continued support as ever. If you want your comment to be featured in the next video, leave your answer to this video's question of the day down below with QOTD at the start as always. So for this week's question of the day, we'll go for a simple one. What was your favourite moment of this year, and why? Number 4. Those special moments. That season was truly awful, with some horrific games, but then at the same time some great games too, and I wanted to just highlight some of my favourite games of this year, and some of the worst. And what better way to start than with one of the first games of this year, almost an exact year before our upcoming tie against Preston, us getting absolutely battered by Man City 4-0 in the third round of the FA Cup. City didn't have Ederson, Dias, Stones, Grealish, De Bruyne and Haaland, and they still made us look like a team from League One. We were knocked out of the cup at the earliest possible time, and this would set an unfortunately poor precedent for the rest of the year. It would take 2 months until we finally put in any sort of good performance, and it would come in one of my favourite games of this year, the comeback against Borussia Dortmund in the Champions League. Despite the terrible league form, we were somewhat competent in the UCL, and this game was the first time we really saw any fight from our players, playing on the transition and punishing Dortmund, knocking them out and progressing to the quarter-finals. There are a lot more games I could highlight, and most of them are poor ones in truth, from that latter stage of that season, but on a more positive note, I wanted to mention some of the games from this season. The draws versus Arsenal and City, where we played them both off the park and were unlucky not to get all 3 points. The gritty fight to hold on to the win versus Brighton, beating Newcastle in the Cup. That Liverpool game right at the start of the season where Enzo looked like a man possessed. Battering Spurs 4-1 with Jackson bagging a hat-trick, that was truly sweet. And I think it's important to look at these good results and hold them in our hearts for the end of this season, because there are still games and trophies to be won, there's still a place in Europe for us, and we need to get behind the team because we know they can bring us these types of good results. And number 5, the birth of a community. Without a doubt, my favourite moment of this year was the sudden and unexpected explosion of this channel. I had been posting on this channel for 3 years and never really thought that it was going anywhere. I was just using it as a way to vent and talk about this club that I love so much. Before pre-season in May, I decided to take a chance on a new format of content, a 5 things video like the one you're watching right now. It's funny how that worked out, we've come full circle. I uploaded it, terrible thumbnail and all, and was shocked to see the views and like counts slowly rising. I had people commenting on my video that weren't just bots, they were real people that shared a similar love for this great club. They were you guys, the masses as I like to call you now. A couple of videos later I had multiple hundreds of thousands of people tuning in to watch me, a totally unsuccessful guy that in his mind was never going anywhere. To say that I was surprised is an understatement. The outpouring of love that I received back then, and still am receiving to this day, albeit in much smaller quantities nowadays, was rather overwhelming, and I have to give a few shout outs to Daniel of the SonOfChelsea channel and ExpertEnzo on Twitter, not only because they publicly endorsed me on their platforms and I think were major reasons as to why I got so many eyes on me in the first place, but for the really kind words and helpful advice they gave me when I started this journey, which they didn't have to do and I appreciate so much. You guys probably know about these two, but if not, links to all their socials will be down in the description. The channel has grown steadily after that initial boom of activity, and now it's become a major part of my life. Something that was just a fun hobby has now turned into something that I wake up and think about first thing in the morning. And I don't want to sound too dramatic, but it has truly changed my life. I'm extremely lucky that I get to do this, and I know there is much more to come from both the club and me. I wanted to get to 16,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I know we are very close at the time of recording this, but either way I am immensely proud of this community that we together have built, and I'm so excited to see where we are headed in the future. Thank you guys for sticking by me in the short time that I've been here. Let me know some of the things on your list in the comment section down below, and if you'd be so kind, subscribe to the channel and leave the video a like if you enjoyed. Don't forget to tap the notification bell so you never miss a video from me. I've been Mono from SonOfChelsea, and remember, as always, in the rain or in the dry, keep that blue flag flying high. Come on, you Blues!